Hi, in this episode I'm going to talk about 3D modeling, and in particular when you are using a part from someone else, how much of that part do you model in 3D? Welcome to another episode. Let's take a look at this design and talk about how much you want to model when you're modeling components that are going to be part of your design, but that you're not manufacturing yourself. Right here we have a screen. This is a color screen that will be mounted inside this case. This is the actual color screen. I'm showing you one from Adafruit, but they're also available from other suppliers in higher quantities. There are some interesting details about this that you can see clearly, are not shown here. So here what I have modeled is basically the distance from the left side of the white area to the right side and the top to the bottom. If you look more carefully though, you'll notice the screen is not centered, which is this part here, is not centered within that white frame. Plus there are some other things here, such as this black area which isn't part of the screen, and then you can see that there's a cable, etc. So obviously I want to have the screen centered, and it's kind of hard to center the screen right now because I don't have enough details modeled in that screen in my 3D model. What I ended up doing is modeling only a few sections of that, and if you look carefully now, it's really clear. Let me do this. So it's really clear that the screen is not centered on top of the keypad, and I do want it to be centered because it will look better. It's also clear looking at this and the other parts that I'll need some type of adhesive overlay to go on top of this. I'm not sure how I'm going to work this out, so that you don't see the frame, you just see the screen. Let's take a look at what I did model. So I'll isolate to just this. Oh, sorry, I have to click over here and then click isolate. And if we look at the screen, I didn't really do much. I'll walk you through it really quickly. So the first thing I did with the screen is, I had this. This is the circuit board underneath the Adafruit. I actually have a version of this. This one here, you can see this is the circuit board underneath. And so I have the circuit board and the screen modeled as one piece. The next thing I did is I started to do some cutouts for the frame. And then the next thing I did is I took the screen itself, and if you look in closely, you can see I raised it up about 5/1000ths of an inch. That's not enough, so it really makes a difference for the 3D modeling. But what it did allow me to do is to color this face differently from the rest. The way I can change the color of the screen, for example, is right-click on the surface, just the surface, select appearance, and then I can drag something over. So it was black, I can change it to glossy green, for example, and there you have it. Now it's glossy green. I'll undo that, but basically that's what I did for all the different surfaces. There are a lot of little details like this notch here, the cable, and various other things that I didn't model here because those things didn't matter. I didn't need that level of fidelity. I just needed to see where the white frame was, I need to see where the screen is, and that's pretty much what's important for being able to see how this fits in. So I'm going to un-isolate this, and now you can see I can modify this and make sure everything fits even after I move this over, like so. I can move it over a little bit, get things centered, with the screen. And then you can see I'm running out of space with this circuit board. So that tells me that either I need to make this wider, or I need to use the screen with a very different circuit board than the one that I have here. I'm planning to make my own circuit board, so that's fine. So these are the types of things you can do with just a little bit of extra modeling of detail, but don't go crazy. Do just as much as you need and no more.